We f***ed up. We let all the idiots get on the school boards and in city councils. I wasn't paying attention.
No, a lot of people weren't paying attention.
No.
And
I feel bad about that.
They get scared now when you see all these TikToks and these crazy people that are teachers. You're like, oh my God.
But crazy people, they're just parents, Joe.
Well, some of them are.
I think a lot of them are.
No. We're talking about different things. Oh. The TikTok thing's a different thing.
I don't know about
it's actual teachers.
I don't.
It's insane teachers telling the class.
Oh, I'm coming out as lesbian and all that stuff.
It's always like, these children need to respect my non-binary status.
Yeah. Oh, that shit.
If I get misgendered, the way I correct them, and they're like, usually, like a lot of them, like Libs of TikTok has a whole series of them. Some of them are just insane people that are now teaching your kids.
Don't mind how I look. I know I look raggedy. It's the end of the day. So I'm a non-binary preschool teacher, and my kids know I'm non-binary. They know I'm not a girl or a boy. I use they, them pronouns in the classroom. We work on it. Not all the kids get it. That's okay. And I go by Mix Gray in the classroom, not Miss or Mr. Mix. And today one of the kids goes, hey, we've got 2 boy teachers in the classroom because the other teacher in the classroom at the time was a guy. And I go, no, there's not. I'm not a girl or a boy, remember? And she goes, oh my God, wait, does that mean you're dead? So I think that's my new gender now. I think I'm gonna change all my gender settings to dead.
So I'm not allowed to be out as trans non-binary at school. Do not come up in my comments saying that I am allowed, because I'm not. I live in Louisiana and it sucks here. So of course my response to this is to be as obnoxiously queer as possible. So I've got my rainbow hair with leopard print. I've got my rainbow glasses. Sometimes I wear pins too with various rainbow things on them. I don't have any today. I just have my COVID sticker. I wear things that do not match at all. Basically, my goal is to look like a unicorn threw me up. If I can't do that, what's the point?
It's so bizarre to see these people making these videos because they're doing it like out in the open. And not saying it's insane to be non-binary. I'm saying it's insane to have this level of narcissism where you're declaring to the internet how you deal with a 7-year-old that's misgendering you.
I have a question for other genderqueer educators. I am just finishing up my teaching degree, and I was wondering how you all respond when students or parents misgender you in a way that doesn't turn into a power struggle. Because when I've had students misgender me so far, I don't know how to respond. And usually when I correct them, they just ignore it.
And I say, would you prefer if I acted more like a girl? And he kind of paused, and he was like, I think if you acted like a girl, I would be less confused.
Like, this is...
Well, look at what the mechanisms are.
If they don't say they, them. The 7-year-old has to learn they, them? Is that real?
No, look at the mechanisms. It's what's controlling this. It's the TikTok. It's the algorithm. It's the phone we put in our kids' hand.
Does your mom say you have to be LGBT? No, I think she's what I want to be, but
Go ahead, Lex. Go ahead. Keep talking. Say what you're saying.
My mom doesn't matter if I am gay or lesbian or any of that. She doesn't care. All she cares about is that I'm a part of it. And if I'm not a part of it, she'll try to convince me to join it. Cause
What are you saying right now?
Facts.
That I would convince you to join what?
The LGBTQIA+ community.
TikTok help. How do I teach my trans 5-year-old about hormones? Like, I'm not talking about putting her on hormones or anything. She's just asking when she'll get boobs. And I have no idea how to explain that to a child.
So I'm applying for a job, right? And it's time for me to pick one of the 4 genders. Female, I do not wish to disclose. Male, or X, non-binary, Canada only. If only I was Canadian!
I don't know who needs to hear this, but passing is not the point of being trans. The point of being trans is sowing chaos and destroying capitalism! This is my gay alpaca! His name is...
So I like to avoid gendered language when I talk to my students, so I don't use words like guys or ladies and gentlemen. Instead, I'll choose terms like folks, or my students really like guys, gals, and non-binary pals. They really relate to that, and sometimes I even refer to them as different animals, you know, just to keep it light and fun.
Activities. So let's talk about furries. It was addressed by a child a couple months ago, that they are put in an environment where there are kids that identify as a furry, a cat or a dog, whatever. And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats. And I am really disturbed by that.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and help you out. Let's answer some questions because I guess you guys wanna know. So, hey. What's your name?
My name is Mo.
Mo. Go ahead and answer the question. Are you a boy or are you a girl?
I am neither, actually.
What? Get out of town. What's that mean?
That means I am gender fluid.
Gender fluid? So what do you like to be called if you're gender fluid?
I prefer they, them, so it's not just like having a new like pronoun every day, making it super difficult.
All right, they, them. Gotta be honest. What's this gender fluid mean?
So instead of being one solid gender, my gender changes each day, month, week, it all depends. Like, so one day I could be a boy, the next day I could be a girl, agender, pangender, and so forth.
Oh, all right. But, you know, the people really want to know. You were clearly born either a boy or a girl. It's gotta be one or the other, right? I mean, it's what they say. What is it? Answer.
Well, I personally think it's none of your business, and you don't need to know what's in my pants.
Oh. You know what? I agree. It's not really any of your fucking business.
Yeah.
Hi, so I have a small dilemma. I am starting a new job on Monday, and it's a teaching job, so the kids are going to call me either Mr. or Mrs. Jamie. It depends on what I want, but I, as a non-binary being, I don't know what to pick. I feel like Mrs. would be easier for the kids, but Mr. makes me feel better, but I also kind of want to try mix, but I don't know if the kids can do that. I don't... And then what do they do when they ask me if I'm a boy or a girl? I'm not! I don't know.
Explain that it's young kids, too.
It's young kids. My class is going to be 4-year-olds, so... I don't know. And then I don't know if I want to go by Jamie or Jamie Ray, because Jamie Ray is the name that I go by now. I don't know. Any advice would be great for any non-binary teachers.
SOS, save our ship.
SOS, SOC, save our captain. Thanks.
So, did you know that young children can totally understand complex concepts such as race and racism? They're not too young to be talked to about racism, and they totally can understand it.
So I am apogender. My pronouns are he, they, and as you can tell, I am mask presenting. So my question is this. I always get he. I almost never get the they. Because I'm mask presenting and I do appear more masculine, does that just negate the they? I understand that he is my main pronoun, but sometimes it's nice to, you know, hear the they portion of the pronoun. That just never happens because I appear more masculine. So I just don't know if people think it just negates the fact that the they part is there just because I'm built like a bear.
So I said, I understand that. I know that, you know, I look like a girl, so it would be less confusing if I acted like one too. And I turn over to his friend and I say, what about you? Do you think I'm confusing? And his friend just goes, no. I say, do you think that I'm a boy or a girl? No. Oh, what do you think I am? I think you're a boy and a girl. And that gave me a certain amount of euphoria. Like, even though I don't identify as either a girl or a boy, I think what he was saying, you know, being 8 years old, was that that's how he interprets me as a person. He interprets me as a blend. And that works, because that is in a way how I am. My gender moves, and my gender is not either. And I have both feminine and masculine qualities to me. So I'm glad that they're getting it, and I'm glad that they're curious too.
Like, and they're doing it in this weird, arrogant assertion that they're going to indoctrinate these children into their ideology, and they're literally like mocking or taunting the parents.
We'll convert your children. We'll make them tolerant and fair.
We're going to do this to your kids.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the motivation. I don't understand why they would make those videos. I don't understand why anybody would hire those people to be teachers.
Okay. See, throw it back. Start a riot. See, throw it back. Start a riot. See, throw it back. Start a riot.
Hi friends, so I'm an NB teacher at a rural school in Idaho and was just told by my school board that I cannot go by they them pronouns and that I cannot have my pronouns displayed in my classroom. Anyone know a lawyer who could help me? Is this legal?
Here comes the void! Hello, void! Welcome! Scream in fear, the void!
Forget puberty. How hard did 16 to 20 hit you?
I was assigned male at birth.
I was assigned female at birth.
My pronouns are he, him.
My pronouns are he, him.
It's not okay to ask me what's in my pants.
It's not okay to ask me what's in my pants.
It is okay for me to not wear a shirt.
It's okay for me to not wear a shirt.
I'm human.
I'm human.
We are both men.
We fucked up. We let all the idiots get on the school boards and in city councils. I wasn't paying attention.
No, a lot of people weren't paying attention.
No.
Go ahead and turn that off.
We're in a public setting.
I have not given you permission to videotape me.
I'm not videotaping you. I'm in a public setting. I'll videotape myself. What about him?
Hey, I'm worried about you two right now. Hey, get your mask on. Come on. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Stay away from me. What about them?
Let's go. I'm worried about you guys. Okay, stop right here. Mr. Ferguson, both of these have refused to wear their masks. He is videotaping. I have asked him to grab my phone and he's been grabbing. He is asked to turn it off. I tried to take his phone. He refused to do it. He's been picking on everybody in the hallways. I've asked politely many times. So whatever the process is right now, there are you guys.
Okay, take a seat in here. You guys gotta have your masks.
And you thought of parents coming in to tell teachers how the kids should be taught. You're like, well, what do the parents know?
I actually am still teaching kids. I just got home from work, actually. Sorry, my voice is kind of out. I've been sick the last week. But yeah, I still teach 4-year-olds in the morning and 5-year-olds in the afternoon. They call me Mix Jamie Ray or Teacher Jamie Ray. They call me they, them pronouns, and so do all of the teachers. I've made some friends, and the parents like me too, so yeah.
Got this question about ZZer pronoun usage. The answer is simple. If someone tells you their pronouns are ZZer, use them. That's it. Time, y'all. You gotta know this. I'm playing make-believe with the kids that I work with, and the youngest, the 2-year-old, wants me to be the dad, and she would like to be the mom. I asked her, hey, is it alright if I be the non-binary parent? She gave it a moment, thought, and said, yeah. Then the 5 and the 7-year-old asked, well, what do we call you if you're a non-binary parent? We have mom for mom, and we have dad for dad, but what would we call you as a non-binary parent? I told them the word that I created was POMO, the mix of pops and mom that I call my parents. They loved it. They even came up with some ideas of their own, like MOPA and PO. Gender fluidity is not confusing for children. They understand the beauty of the diversity and the vast identities that we all hold. The issue is with the ignorance of adults that refuse to listen. It's time we learn from these kids.
Show yourself with long hair, and then when you decided to chop it off.
We have never invested as much in public education as we should have because we've always had kind of a private notion of children. Your kid is yours and totally your responsibility. We haven't had a very collective notion of these are our children. So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities. Once it's everybody's responsibility and not just the households, then we start making better investments.
But then when you see some of the ridiculous shit that kids are getting taught in school today, and then if you follow like libs of TikTok, and you see some of these crazy groomer teachers.
Yeah.
It is so bizarre.
You know, I'm all for creativity and imagination, but when someone lives in a fantasy world and expects other people to go along with it, I have a problem with that. So